Once a saint who was on his deathbed called a disciple and said, "Remember one thing, never allow a cat in your life." Just after saying that, the saint died. The disciple was perplexed by those last words. He was not able to understand its meaning. He thought to himself, "Why would I allow a cat into my life? What does this mean? How will I know its real meaning?" So he went to an old wise man who used to follow the same saint. One day he met up with him and got into a discussion. He told him about his last words. Just listening to those words, the old man realized the meaning and said, "You don't know its meaning because you don't know the whole story." Hello friends, welcome to my channel All Things Spiritual. Today we will look at focus, and I will give you a good tip to get strong mental focus even if you are a beginner, and you could get up to speed with good concentration in a matter of just couple of weeks. So friends who have a hard time concentrating, please stay on and watch till the end to know about that trick to improve your concentration. Also, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel if you like the content. Let's continue the story on why that saint asked the disciple to not get a cat. The old man then started his story. Once a young man renounced from his life all the worldly pleasure and came to the mountains to live a secluded life as a saint. He would roam around looking for food and water and his basic necessities. There was a village nearby, and so people learned about that saint. The saint was well respected by the villagers, and soon they built him a small hut. The saint started to live in the hut. The saint had only 2 clothes and nothing else. Soon trouble arose for him as some rats came into his hut and started to chew away on his 2 remaining clothes. In the meantime, one of the villagers got to know about his trouble. He bought then a cat for him and said, "You are troubled by rats, and if you keep this cat here, then you wouldn't have to worry about rats anymore." So the saint accepted and continued with his routine. The saint was no longer troubled by rats anymore, but now he had a problem that he needed to feed his cat. Now the saint had to go to the village to get milk for the cat. After a few days, the villagers thought that it would be a lot of trouble for the saint to come to the village daily to pick up milk to feed his cat. So they collected funds and brought him a cow. It was the solution for the cat's milk, but now the saint had to go to the village and beg for grass for his cow. The villagers said it's not right and thought that if we look for someone who can look after the things of the saint, and it won't be so troublesome for him. There was a widow in the village, and the villagers persuaded her to help and serve the saint. After much persuasion, she agreed and started to take care of the chores of the saint. With time, the young saint and the widow grew fond of each other, and love started to blossom between the two. Before the saint could even realize, he was married to that lady and had children. And then he thought to himself, "Oh God, that's what I had left behind. I had renounced the whole world, and this is the whole world in front of me again." It grew so slowly that I was not aware until the children came in. The old man said, "Just because of that cat, the whole world then came in." That's why he told that you are not allowed to have a cat in your life. The saint was actually talking about his own life story. As such, no activity in life should be seen as a distraction for living a spiritual life. Every activity of life can be done with mindfulness or with detached attitude, but this is true for only highly evolved souls. For most people like us who are still on this path, they should not let distractions divert them from the spiritual path, and then focus intensely in our spiritual practice so that we can become more centered from inside. The Bhagavad Gita is unique in its own contribution to the philosophy of pragmatic living. As per chapter 2 verse 47, Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phala heturbhur mate sangotsva karmani. Let your concerns or focus be on your action only. Let it not be on the outcome of the action. Do not act only out of expectation of a result, but then do not slip into inactivity. Any action is like a released arrow. It is irreversible. Of course, it has an intended target, that is the result. But after it has been done, you do not have any control over the end result. So there is no use in fretting over the outcome. In fact, the less you worry about the end result but focus on the work or the karma itself, the more likely it is that the work will get the intended result. This might sound very paradoxical, as I explained in my video on purpose. You may want to check it out. I will give you also an example. Before that, there is a part of another verse of chapter 2, verse 50. Buddhi yukto jahatiha ubhe skruta dushkrute tasmat yogaya yujjasva yoga karma sukaushalam. The one who prudently practices the science of work without attachment can get rid of both good and bad reactions in this life itself. Therefore, strive for yoga, which is the art of working skillfully in proper consciousness. This connects with the above verse to give a full picture of Gita's karma yoga principle. This phrase emphasizes the need for maintaining high quality of work, dedication, knowledge and skill in whatever you do. When you are dedicated enough, you will gain the knowledge and the skill that will bring about the desired outcomes. The more knowledge and skill that you gain, the more confidence you get in your work, and the more is your dedication because of your confidence. Now, think of the example of the archer shooting the arrow. Obviously, the archer is aiming at a target and he will use all his training and skill to hit the target. But in reality, once the arrow has been released, the archer can only hope that it hits the target. Let's say the first arrow has been missed. Now he has to try again, but if he is only worried about the first failures and anxious about the second arrow, his mind is not then focused to act on shooting the arrow, but on whether the arrow will hit the target or not. He will be filled with thoughts of humiliation, embarrassment and loss of place and such other things. Now he has become attached to the outcome itself. Now he is not a master of his craft but a doubter of his abilities. So if you can see, it is important to focus on things, and if you don't have the basic technique to focus in life, you may not be able to complete your tasks of what is expected out of you. So as a result, the jiva or you only have to take another birth to accomplish this task or action of karma associated with it. So would you like to take an additional birth to complete your task, or would you like to get the things done perfectly in this one birth so that you can do other karmas in your subsequent births? So listen carefully, my friends. Here is the very straightforward technique that I will provide you that will improve your concentration in just a matter of few weeks. The method is through a method of meditation that involves looking or gazing with open eyes at an object that is called Trataka. It may be just staring at a single point, such as a small object, a black dot or a candle flame. I would suggest more that it would be a candle flame, as it aligns more with your soul and that would be helpful to connect with your Atman. This would bring energy to the third eye or the Agnya Chakra and promote various psychic abilities. This is also for an aspirant who wants to meditate but hasn't begun yet. So gazing at a point or a flame can set a tone for future closed eyes meditations, because it then reduces your eye movements, and then once the eye movements have slowed down, an aspirant can then move to closed eye meditation. Here is the technique. Sit in the meditative pose in front of a candle. Place the candle at about an arm's length away from you. The wick of the candle at the same height as your chest. The flame should be still and not moving. So make sure that there are no moving objects like a fan running in the room that you are doing the Trataka in. Once you have comfortably focused at the candle flame for a few moments, then you will realize that your eyes would like to blink. So try to not blink for some time, as long as possible, and then you will notice that tears start coming from your eyes. So then can close your eyes if you start to experience discomfort. Once you experience discomfort, close your eyes. Mentally repeat your mantra in the meditation. A mantra that you can repeat like Hari Om or Hare Krishna. Open the eyes and look at the flame without blinking. The flame has 3 zones of color. At the base of the wick, it has a reddish color. In the middle, it is bright white, and at the tip is slightly smoky. Concentrate on the upper part of the flame where it is the brightest. Close your eyes again. If the image of the flame appears within, gently concentrate on the image without creating any tension. Try not to pursue or hold on to the image, otherwise it will fade away and disappear. Repeat this practice 3 or 4 times a day. The practice time should gradually build as the days go by. In the initial stages, look at the flame only for about 10 to 15 seconds. Slowly increase this time so that after a year you may be able to look at the frame for about half an hour and then concentrate on the inner image with closed eyes. So what are the benefits of doing this Trataka? It purifies the eyes and strengthens the eye muscles. And you may notice that the people who wear spectacles regularly, they will have the numbers improve as the months go by. It also helps with sleeping difficulties and strengthens the ability to concentrate, and therefore it is recommended for children going to school and having problems with their studies. It develops intuition and the ability to visualize and helps with your willpower. So guys who all have a hard time concentrating on things and you need to finish your tasks, please try this for 20 minutes if possible. And if you need to have proficiency in any task, you may need 20 minutes of your daily time frame to be set aside for that particular activity, and at least 90 days of continuous practice without breaks to see a major difference in your lives. So please try it and post me your comments as to how it may have changed your life within few weeks to months. I would love to hear your results. Let me tell you mine. My eyesight got improved to a great extent, and the inner reflected light of the Atman was far more easily visible once the focus improved. So as a result, a rooted, secure and stable mind is created. Okay friends, that's all for this video. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next week with a new video.